I appreciate you all being here, particularly for those of us at the bottom end of the of the dais. I want to follow up on Senator Fisher's question, though. I've been a staffer for a decade or so, and I appreciate that you don't always, if your name is on the door, you don't always want the staff disavowing things because that's the job for the men and women whose names are on the door. But if it is clear that stormwater clearly is not within federal jurisdiction, why can't those with their names on the door go ahead and disavow that today and let us take that off the worry list for folks back home?
Well, I would like to take anything off the worry list that I can. So we'll do whatever outreach we need to do to be as clear as we possibly can. Staff are obviously conservative in giving opinions during the middle of a rulemaking process, but we need to be a little less so that we can be frank and build confidence in one another.
But it would be easy to I think about the Assistant Secretary. We've had conversations about water treatment facilities in our district. They are built above and beyond. They're just spectacular, great expense to my constituents because we're invested in the environment. In fact, I would take issue with anyone who says we're not doing more than our fair share, and it would be easy to go ahead and disavow a whole string of things that you have no intention of creating, but
Yes.
folks are talking about exaggerations and people being worried for nothing. I would tell you this: Waters of the U.S. is issue number one for folks in my district. Water in general is issue number one, and it seems that we do a disservice as legislators and regulators if we have an opportunity to say, let's focus on what really is important, what really is a stakeholder contention, and let's move these red herrings off the table. Why should we be concerned with that?
We had an earlier question about these facilities, these MS4s and others, and I was, I think, very clear that there will be exclusions articulated for those in the rule, in the final rule. I think what we see has happened here is our interest in expanding exclusions wasn't our intent to cover everything. And if we didn't articulate everything, people felt that we were specifically narrowing those exclusions. We will do a job at articulating what is in and what is out better than we certainly did it before. And you will have my assurance that these things that have never been in before, that we've never talked about, will not be in the final rule. We will clarify these so that people will see in writing what they've been asking us about.
I think about your goals, clarity, cost reduction. These are all goals that every stakeholder in my district shares. I would argue stakeholders across the nation share. And yet, amongst your million comments will be letters from our Attorney General taking issue with the proposal, citing the very same case law that you cite to promulgate the proposal. Our Attorney General would cite to negate it. Our Chamber of Commerce, our Councils for Quality Growth, our Ag Commissioner, on and on and on. I'm very proud of Georgia's record of environmental stewardship, particularly water stewardship. I'm one of those anglers who spends $50 billion a year in U.S. waters. Can you tell me something that in your collective experience that we have failed on in Georgia, that, again, sharing the desire that everyone has for clean water? I feel like we're meeting that standard locally today. No one's asking for federal help today. Can you talk to me about some failures that we've had in my state that this rulemaking would seek to train us up?
I don't think, and Joanne, I'm sorry, I'm going to be very quick. I don't think that this should be looked at as an indication of failure on the part of any state. This is trying to respond to states telling the federal government that it's time that you were clearer, and so that we can do our business, which is to co-regulate with you in a way that's effective and efficient. They're asking us to be clearer. So I would not want folks to go thinking that this is a reflection of any failure on the part of any state.
And so when I'm looking at a handout from the Water Advocacy Coalition that lists 11 states as submitting comments to say we oppose the rules that promulgated. We need lots of revision. Another 22 states that say we oppose it. We want it withdrawn altogether. You're saying that this process began as a response to these stakeholders, but given that the majority of those folks have some degree of or a substantial degree of concern today, would we still say that the rulemaking has addressed those concerns that it's set out to address, or have we gone far afield?
I think we still have work to do before the final rule, and the final rule will respect that work getting done. I think it's incredibly important that we retain the partnership we have with states working collaboratively together. We went through this process specifically to tee up a range of ideas that the states could and stakeholders could respond to in the rulemaking. That is what you see has happened. This is not an easy rule, and I won't suggest it is, but we will get this done in a way that we're supposed to, and we will listen and respond to the comments effectively.
I appreciate that recognition of Georgia's success, and Mr. Chairman, I yield back.